Hey folks, joining Alone Survival. So today we're talking about a subject I want to save this far in the playlist on purpose, and that is physical conditioning. Stick around. All right, y'all. So the reason why I left this topic of PTing, physical conditioning, working out towards the end of this playlist, if not probably second to last video, honestly, is because I wanted people to take this playlist serious and have it time to be out there and brew and collect attention. But I was kind of really hoping not only did people look at mine, but others like mine and kind of come to their own conclusions and build an actual kit and do the right thing and take that kit out camping and hiking, trying it out, and then over a period of time have what I call the humbling of like, okay, hey, I have this 55-pound bag like myself, right? And go, oh man, I'm going to stuff this full of all this gear and equipment and rations and whatever else I might need for a get home bag and so on and so forth, right? And then over time you realize, hey, I've been on multitude of hikes and camping. I've never used this or this or this. So you're kicking out XYZ and you're slimming that bag down, right? You're filtering it out until you get to the actual base necessities of what works best for you in your environment, your climate, your life, and your situation, right? So that's what I kind of hope people would have. And even if, say, they ran across a problem like, okay, hey, and this is kind of where we land with this video topic, I would go, okay, hey, I have all this filtered down as far as I can go. Everything's multi-use, everything's rugged and durable. Everything in here works for me, and I'm comfortable carrying this stuff, and I need this stuff. Okay, not want, it's a need now. Okay, cool. So if it's still too heavy for you to carry, say, 3+ miles, for example, to get out of an emergent situation, we then turn to physical training, right? And that's not just for a bug out, bug home situation, but in any emergency situation, you want to be as physically fit as possible to give you the best chances of getting out of said situation, right? Even if it's like a car crash or like, you're in a dangerous situation because something in the area is dangerous, you got to run away from it. Cool. Being physically fit will help you, right? So I just got a list real quick of some stuff I personally do. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not an expert at this stuff, guys. It's just what I've been doing for years now. And I feel way more physically fit than I did even in my early 20s. So, and I'm 33 right now. So keep that in mind. And here we go. I'm just going to talk about the categories, nutrition and rest, maybe functional workouts, and a little tip that I want to save to the end of the video, at least an idea, I should say. Now, that is strength, endurance, and cardio are the topics we're going to talk about. Now, what I do for strength, guys, is pretty basic. It's the big five, right? There is deadlift, there's squat, there's bench press, there's shoulder press, and there's weighted pull ups. Okay, that's what the big five I've come to terms with. That's what I do. And all these workouts I mentioned are minimum 3 days a week. 3 to 4 is kind of where I'm bouncing between because of my personal life and schedule and whatever. But 3 to 4 is kind of a good area, at least for me, and I feel comfortable with it. So, whatever. Some will probably want to do less, some will probably do more. Hey, whatever. It's all good. We are who we are. So, next up would be endurance, right? So, endurance to me is more of your calisthenics. Why? Because endurance means you're doing something repetitively and working on how to endure through it over a long period of time. Endurance, right? Probably not the actual definition, but whatever. So, calisthenics, again, non-weighted pull-ups, push-ups. We're talking abdominal workouts, so sit-ups, crunches, planks, perhaps. I personally prefer crunches and planks. That's just me personally. I do some sit-ups here and there, but I like crunches and planks better. Just me. And then along with that, there's body squats, high jumps, dips. And yes, all these I just mentioned can be weighted if you want to. Plank wise, guys, don't just do like I'm going to sit there in the Superman pose for minutes on end. Vary them up, guys. And you can do glute bridges, you can do side bridges, you can do toe taps, mountain climbers, so on and so forth, guys. There's just so many variations of workouts out there. Go look them up. They're awesome. So there's all that for endurance, right? Now, cardio. Cardio to me is pretty simple. I like personally to do sprints over jogging, and I also like, well, I should say sprints and rucking over jogging. That's kind of why I like to do the two of my preferred. I'm starting to go back into jogging, just kind of like begrudgingly, I should say. I just don't like jogging, probably because I'm old and fat. But my thing is just, in a serious manner, is just because to me it just takes so long to jog and get the same workout benefits opposed to just sprinting X number of times. I don't know, call me weird, but that's just what I like to do. So To say how this works is for sprints, what I'll do is either 100 yards dash, so from here to there, and I'll rest anywhere from like 30 seconds to a minute, somewhere around there. And then I'll not jog, excuse me, sprint back. And that's kind of how I do that. Or if I'm feeling really savvy that day, I'll go 100 yards there and turn around and come back. So there and back, right? And then I'll rest for roughly a minute, and then I'll kind of repeat this 6 to 8 times in a sprint session. That's just what I like to do. Now, jogging, I really suck at. I usually only jog a mile and a half, somewhere around that area. Usually it's more of a mile and a half nowadays, which I'm kind of proud of. But to me, jogging is. I get this experience from when I went to basic, right? I was really good at running my 2 miles, right? Just that's what I pounded on, it's what I practice. AFPT all the time, all day, every day, right? What they don't tell you, so anybody watching this thinking about joining the United States military, beware of this. They lie to you and they're like, "Oh, I hope you worked on rucking." Oh, you didn't? Oh, it's gonna suck for you, buddy. So yeah, and even then we just had 35-pound packs on, right? Little old Alice packs, and we had 35 pounds of gear in there. We'd ruck for miles on end, and God, that sucked. There's a huge difference between walking with weight and jogging in just gym shorts, tennis shoes, and a t-shirt. Horrible time, horrible time. But that actually is a core memory now. So I'm a little like, no, I need a ruck instead of jog. So much better. And it's true. In my mind, it's a lot easier for most people in the general populace, despite what your age is, maybe you have a debilitating condition or whatever. It's a lot easier for people to sit there and pick up rucking, which in my mind is kind of a slowish jog, but it has weight to it. So you're working on strength, endurance, and your cardiovascular fitness instead of jogging, which, okay, think about this too in realistic terms. How are you hauling out your supplies so you have like a 30, 35-pound pack with you? That's your get home bag or survival bag, or it's going to be, right? Are you jogging your whole way through the forest or whatever terrain you live in with a 35-pound pack on, making all this noise and being tired? Or are you going to ruck or slash hike, I should say, which rucking really all it is literally walking at a fast pace with weight on a certain distance, right? That's what you're doing. That literally is rucking. There's no other definition that's easier to understand than that. So, anyways, jogging. Yes, I jog anywhere from a mile to a mile and a half, 3 to 4 times a week. That's what I like to do. Really, it's more like 3 times a week because, again, I don't like jogging. Rucking, though, going back to that real quick, I just have to say that is anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week. I love rucking because it's just like hiking, and I like hiking. But, anyways, and that's kind of a key thing here, too. Do a workout that you really enjoy, and it's really easy, especially if you're connected to an activity you love doing. So, that being said, along with rucking, 2 points. One, I would try to keep, when you do rucking to actually get a good workout, time yourself. Try to keep the standard of 1 mile for 15 minutes. It's easy the first mile or two, but after that, it starts getting a little cumulative right there, right? You know, you're kind of getting a little tired. It's like, oh man, I got to really pick up my pace to keep up with this 15 minutes a mile, so on and so forth. And it's like, mile 3, 4, 5, 6, and it just gets harder and harder the farther you go. But it's a fun workout to do. Now, if you have never hiked slash rocked a day in your life before, start out easy, 1 to 2 times a week, okay? And do yourself a favor. Don't go like, oh, I need a 60-pound pack on. That's crazy. Don't do that. Just do 5% of your total body weight, 10%, 15, 20, 25, 30. Stop at 35. And I get that magical 35% of your total body weight number from GoRuck.com, Outdoor Life, Military.com, Men's Health, so on and so forth, guys. It's kind of various places I looked at and like, okay, what are all these places are saying, whatnot. And just, I think like three more I looked at. But either way, point being is that's kind of the average number I've seen pop up. So, okay, cool. Awesome. 35 pound, oh my God, 35% of your total body weight, excuse me. Now, this is just as important when I want to talk about as the workouts, okay? Rest and nutrition. It is key you do not overexert yourself, overwork yourself, and then injure yourself because then you're just going to set yourself back farther because you have to recover, right? Now, rest. Honor your rest periods, right? Even if I'm doing sprints or whatever, notice it said 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, that's because I know it works for me. I can get away with that. If I needed longer, okay, I'm taking longer. It's just how I am. But rest, guys, is important between workouts, okay? I work out, I try to go every other day. That's kind of what I like to do. but rest is very, very important. Now, along with that, nutrition is also key. Okay, even if you're doing like little changes, so instead of just black coffee or tea or whatever, you're adding like say sugar and creamer, which we know is not good for us, but it's so yummy and delicious. But just start cutting that stuff back, right? Okay, start cutting it back or cutting out completely, and have the self discipline to not go back to those bad habits. Quit smoking, quit drinking, all that fun stuff, right? Make sure you're hydrating yourself properly. And when you're doing these workouts, make sure you have some kind of like electrolyte packet in your water or just on hand just in case you're getting cramps or whatever, right? Replace the electrolytes in your system. So, along with that, focus on, at least in my mind, macronutrients, okay? Your proteins, your fat, your carbohydrates. Focus on that stuff too, guys. Make sure you're putting good stuff into your body, good fuel for you, okay? Rest and nutrition. Now, the thing here, functional workouts. Okay, functional workouts to me are important because, say, the grid did go down, like tomorrow, and so you live on a farm and you have all this irrigation system, you have livestock and whatever, you have a garden going on, like a small farm like my family has, right? Okay, well, we're used to carrying buckets of water to and fro where we need to, okay? That's a functional workout in itself. Say again, fan, grid down, COG, whatever. You're still going to have to maintain some semblance of a physical training program so you don't just get all happy, flabby, and whatever, right? You want to be physically fit even then, okay? As long as you have the calories to replace what you're doing, right? Now, again, farmer carry, which is just like buckets of water, you're walking around like a path or whatever, there's that. A key thing I like to point out though is if you do have not necessarily opportunity. Let's back up a little bit. If you live in a colder environment, right, and you heat with wood, a lot of us either buy wood off of like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever. It's all split up. They deliver it to us. Awesome. Okay, I do that too sometimes. Or what I like to do nowadays is actually split up all my firewood. That's what I like to do because we primarily heat with firewood. However, not only is that a great training regime to actually get accuracy with your hatchet or your axe or whatever, it's also a great workout in general. But if you're like, okay, hey, I'm going to go backcountry camping and whatever, it's during the winter time, I'm going to have long fires by my shelter, stay warm all night, or maybe I'm going to split up a bunch of firewood for the night, whatever it is, and you're not used to that axe swing, right? Okay. I encourage you to get an empty tire, so no rim in it, right? Empty tire. Get a wood maul, anywhere from like 6 pounds to 10-pound wood maul, whatever it's going to be, and take that empty tire, the wood maul, and you're going to swing at that, right? You're going to swing at it, works on accuracy, works on your strength and endurance of swinging that heavy axe. Now, it's kind of like the old saying, train with twice the weight that you're used to, which I forgot to mention, guys. I apologize. When you're rucking, right, you can do that too. And I guess this is a good place to insert this is if you're rucking and you're at the actual, like, okay, this is my set weight for my bag. This is what I want to carry for a get home bag. Take like 5-10 pounds extra, like a steel plate or two or whatever, throw in your backpack, make sure they're secure, have the extra weight in there and train with that. So when the actual time comes where you have to walk home for whatever reason it is, even if it's times you just have to walk home, okay, you're used to that extra weight. So when you take the extra weight out, you actually can go faster and farther when you're rucking. Now, same thing with when you're cutting firewood. Back to this, guys. Sorry, squirrel brain. You actually will be used to actually swinging a heavier axe, but it's going to be lighter because most bushcrafters I see online, they're carrying sub 2 pound head axes with them into the woods. Why? Because anything larger is more so towards a felling axe, and I don't know what you're doing cutting down trees this size behind me, but whatever, to each their own. But you're going to be used to swinging that axe is not going to make you as tired and you're going to be more accurate. So that's kind of a functional workout. Now, last point here, guys, real quick, is a little training tool I like to do, and I am a big fan of realistic training. And I have come to the realization that hey, you might not have all the calories you need to make it through a situation. So you might go through a little starvation period as in say you eat through all your rations and you're trying to get someplace or get home, or you're just simply lost in the woods, right? And so you just brought like 2 granola bars and that's it for whatever reason. Okay, so now you have to have the fortitude and I guess I dare say the knowledge of okay, what is my body going to do and what can I get away with? I've been through this situation before. And that what I mean by this is okay, not intentionally harm yourself. Obviously, don't ever do that. Please don't. But consult your physician before you do this. And what you want to do is go, okay, I'm going to have like a really light breakfast or less food than I'm used to. Say that you're used to like, I don't know, 4 eggs and 8 bacon strips and like 4 pieces of toast as breakfast. That's what you usually go with. Okay, go with a lighter breakfast, say like a bagel, egg, and cheese, something like that, right? A little breakfast sandwich, and go out here and train. Build a brush shelter over here, or what you could do is go for a long hike along your property line or down a trail, whatever. See how you feel. Okay, can I keep going? Am I too tired? Am I getting dizzy? Do I feel really, really weak because my blood sugar's low? And what you can do over time is get used to that feeling, and eventually you'll know, okay, hey, I know I can get away with doing this X amount of work, and then I have to rest for a little bit. Now, a good source, and I'm definitely a fanboy as well, but a good source of knowledge on this topic would probably be Les Stroud from Survivor Man, because he honestly did that for years on end. During his show, he'd go out there, little to no supplies, and basically kind of really try to make it 7 days with what he had. So, anyways, guys, that's kind of all I got for you today on physical training. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please share, like, subscribe, guys. As always, stay frosty, prep up. Yeah, bless.